Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out a game called We Are Subjects by developer Mark Lund Games. This is a game that involves the developer's two favorite things, and those things happen to be procedurally generated levels and ninja ropes. Now I personally happen to share a deep interest in both of those two subjects, being a rather avid Worms player as well, I guess being an avid Worms player kind of covers both of those, doesn't it? I was going to say Terraria or something, but whatevs. I guess we're in it to win it. So we're going to play some We Are Subjects. It's going to involve ninja roping around this environment, trying to collect mushrooms and crystals, and trying to open up an area to the next world, and so on and so forth. I'm not sure exactly what all the details are. Spent about 2 minutes or so with this one getting acclimated during my sound check, so it should be a good time. Let's look at the credits very quickly here so you can see who is responsible for the game and sound. And it is an XNA game with Farseer Physics. That's an interesting thing. I haven't heard of that yet. And our options menu, very, very minimal. Toggle music, toggle audio. Fair enough. Let's start it out. Normal games are only option. And we'll generate a world here. Hopefully it is a nice, convenient one for us. So when we get started, first thing I want to point out, on the left is this little vending machine here. And you can see it converts crystals to TNT. If it is given one crystal in this case, I will get a TNT block. Now these TNTs, the game is actually teaching us right now, they basically will blow up this one boulder. That is the only thing that you can use this TNT for, as far as I'm aware. So we have our basic controls here: move on WASD, jump on space, rope on left mouse, and drop on E. So let's try and ninja rope around a little bit here to get a feeling for what this is going to be like. Now we have a little accelerometer on our HUD there at the bottom right corner, as well as a bunch of dudes. I think those are our one-ups. Oh, the subject died. R to send in another one. Okay, well, sorry first guy. That didn't work out very well for you. I guess I got a concussion by swinging around a little overzealously. So I kind of want to be a little bit more cognizant that I am a human being and not just a mechanical beast to be thrown around into walls like a crazy person. So I want to point out the health that I'm picking up, or the health that I have rather, is slowly depleting when I'm not picking up mushrooms. So the longer I spend in this hostile environment, the quicker my character starts to die. So I want these mushrooms not only for my health though, but also because they're actually used as a form of currency to purchase upgrades. The upgrades are going to hopefully allow us to maintain our ability to live a bit longer, and might even give us some protection against things like falling particularly far or hitting stuff particularly hard. I think probably the latter more than the former, because I'm not sure if there's actually fall damage in this. I don't know. We'll see, probably at some point. So there, that little man there with the green circle around him happens to be our vendor character, and when we want to approach him, he's going to actually give us options to buy a couple of things. Those little dudes with the red auras there are enemies. Those are our alien combatants. They don't seem to be very powerful. I think all they really do is kind of hover around, sort of like the enemies in Metroid, which actually made me wonder, why is it that I can't ninja hook them? I kind of wanted to, like, ride, underneath them and use them for some sort of platforms or something. Anyway, the other thing that I want to grab is these crystals, because like I mentioned earlier, we need 3 of those to buy another container of TNT, and the TNT is necessary to get to the next area. So, now that I have this crystal, you'll notice it is sitting above my head. I can only hold one at a time, and I need to platform my way very carefully. Oh goodness, I don't want to be in this hole. I want to platform my way very carefully all the way back to the original little spaceship area, where our character will actually gain a full heal. Now, the one thing, you might know this if you've played some Worms, there have been a couple of generations of ninja rope abilities, and they work a little differently, one versus the other. I'm not sure quite where this one falls, but I'm not particularly proficient with it, whichever it might be. The one from Worms Armageddon, I was fantastic at. That one I could make pretty much anything in the world happen, and I could use it to pretty much exploit every game. Not so really is the case in like the more recent ones like Revolution and Clan Wars. And I'm not going to go so far as to say this is exactly like that. It might be somewhere in between. But yeah, it requires some nuance and some careful maneuvering to not spike your character into a wall with this one. But I do want to point out, it's pretty fantastic that if you'll notice, the ninja rope actually... Oh god, I just smashed through that alien. The ninja rope actually forms around all of these objects. Oh, this guy actually restores my health as well, I didn't realize. And for some reason, he also seemed to slide me off of that platform, which which I wasn't too thrilled about. I kind of wanted to stand up there with him. Controls are feeling very iffy at times. Alright, just stay right there, please. Very good. Alright, so we've got 32 mushrooms. I can buy some more life support. I can buy softer alien, I just said softer landing, or alien protection. I'm going to choose some life support just because it's going to give me a longer time to be out in this hostile environment. And I guess we'll just bring the next crystal back to the home base. So the game basically rewards you for being as proficient as possible with your maneuvering skills. I am certainly a long way from being very proficient, and I also can't seem to bend my fall in the air, so that's kind of an important thing, unless you jump of your own accord. But if you're breaking it off from the end of momentum being on Ninja Rope, you can't, like, change your trajectory in midair, so kind of have to keep that in mind. That's probably a good idea, though, for the sake of using a Ninja Rope for the general traversal purposes in this game. So yeah, it's a platformer, but it's a platformer with a caveat, and the caveat is basically, it's all about Ninja Rope, honestly. If you're not into Ninja Rope, probably not going to have a good time here, unfortunately. But, you know, what can you do? Different strokes for different folks. So we got to get this last crystal, which happens to be right here. The one thing that seems to really hang me up is when there's these little cubby holes on the bottom parts of the level, like, or even the top, I suppose. If you find yourself in a particularly awkward position, and you might not be able to hang out very well down there and jump back out, because honestly, your ability to jump and maneuver without the Ninja Rope, not particularly fantastic. You know, hopefully you can make use of it in just about every situation. So we're going to hop back across one more time and open the path to the second area, and I'm going to not keep running into that one single platform there. See, this is what I was talking about. Don't want to be down here, and also don't really have a way to spring myself out. Just spin. Oh, goodness. I want to be good at this, but I don't think I am quite yet. I think with a lot of practice. Oh, God. Well, there goes that guy. Sorry about that. At least my TNT stays. I don't have to go find 3 more crystals, because there aren't 3 more crystals. So yeah, probably don't do what I just did and smash him into stuff. I know I said this earlier, but it is fairly important to your survival to not smash him into stuff. I do want to comment, of course, very good soundtrack. I do enjoy the chip tunes that were going. It's very happy chip tunes, and now it seems to be a little bit more foreboding and maybe a little bit on the melodramatic side, but that's alright. Sets the mood. Oh, alright, another subject died. Well, I'm down to 7 more subjects, and they do start at this beginning point, regardless of if you've made your way to the next area. Assuming there's probably going to be a higher concentration of enemy aliens going forward, and that's alright. I think we can handle it, just as long as I have my Ninja Rope, and that's really the only thing I get, so really I should have that. You probably noticed this already, it kind of goes without saying, but there is, of course, an arrow pointing me in the right direction. You probably saw that first thing, and I just failed to mention it. And of course, the fact that you use your mouse to control where the Ninja Rope goes is pretty important. I could see if I didn't have that ability and had to rely on, like, using the right analog stick or something like that on my 360 controller, that would have been really awkward. And this is probably the right call for how to handle this most quickly and most effectively. But, you know, the other method would have been interesting as an option as well. So I don't know what that is. It's like a computer. Can I hit B on it? Doesn't seem that I can hit B on it. So I guess we're just going to keep going further and just check out this area, but I think it's just going to require me to go back again. All that probably was just a way for me to get health back if I needed it. You know, it's too bad this isn't more of like a Metroidvania-style game, because it's a pretty cool premise, and I like the fact that it's got procedurally generated environments, but I have to say in this particular case, I'm not sure it was entirely necessary. I mean, it does give some replay value to the game, but beyond that, I can't see a lot of other reasons why you would probably replay this unless you just absolutely love the mechanics of flying around with this particular grappling hook situation, and I can see that that could be a thing that some people would be into. I wouldn't begrudge anyone for feeling that way. And in that respect, if you're into, simulating in an infinite Ninja Rope perspective or situation, scenario, whatever, this would be a great situation for you to get yourself into. For me, though, I think I would probably be more concerned with, like, what can we do long-term with this concept to make it continue to have lasting appeal. And, I think I would probably, in this case, I would favor... Oh god, I'm going to die because of blood loss here. I would probably... He was dead on the line. That's so depressing. I would favor that there was a meaningful progression. He's still hanging. That's so sad. Oh no, now we're gonna have this freaking, like, totem to death and destruction in front of our base every single time we come back. Well, we delivered one crystal there, but it's going to be quite a journey each time. And if I actually have to go all the way to the third area after I bomb into that and then have to come all the way back, yeah, I can see where this is going to become very difficult because I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to get across quickly and then just smashing myself into stuff. I guess it's just sort of the idea. You know, it's a risk-reward mechanism. There are checkpoints for you to hang out at, thankfully, with the little green areas. You know, your little tranquility harbors, so to speak. But beyond that, you know, you gotta be quick-ish. And if you get hung up too much, you're just not gonna make it unless you have sufficient mushroom currency with which to buy extra life or what have yous. I'm not sure how necessary it is to buy protection against the enemy aliens, unless they're very, very pervasive in the third area, because still, it doesn't seem like they're all that scary. Or all that common, actually. I would have hoped to see maybe even more threats posed later on. I could see how this could become a very nuanced platformer if there were some very Herculean architectural design for later on that maybe we needed to hop, you know, over and under things quickly. You know, things were trying to crush us. There could be spikes on the walls or, you know, what have you like that. But in that case, I'm not sure that necessarily the controls are quite accurate enough to do a lot of really precise platforming. Because like I mentioned, the actual non-ninja roping movements are a little bit iffy at times. So it's a mixed bag for sure, but I definitely enjoy the concept. I think there's a lot here to like, and I would love to see some more work from this developer in the future, because I think there's some great potential here, especially if there was, you know, a similar engine as this one used, readapted to a future game. I think could be a lot of fun. I would love to see... Oh, horrible inertia there. I would love to see a game like Shadow Complex or something created out of whole cloth, but with this ninja rope function. I think would be a lot of fun. And it's, you know, I'm starting to get the hang of it. It feels pretty good when you actually make a few jumps in a row, and please do pardon the fact that some of my controls have been pretty awful at times. It takes a little bit of getting used to, like I just said. So, you know, give this one a try yourself. That would have been weird if I would have traversed into that bubble and then actually lived or something, like resurrected myself by flying in there. But yeah, I definitely recommend you give this one a look. It is totally free. We Are Subjects link's going to be in the description, so if you want to try this one out yourself, feel free. Let me know what you think about it. I'd love to hear your opinions as well. If you think some of my assertions are on par, if you think they are not, also feel free to say that as well. And in general, just let me know if you had a good time with this one. So hopefully you'll come back again tomorrow. Check out my other stuff. Links are all in the description if you want to see more about me, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Twitch page where I stream games, and of course indie-impressions.com, my main website for the series, where you can actually check out all kinds of other things as well as, you know, all the other games. So I will see you back again tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you have a lovely night. So talk to you later.